Hello everyone and welcome to Osceola Heritage Park, where we get ready to see South Florida Football Academy take on Orlando City. This is the Orlando City North, I guess you could call it. They have a second team, which is considered Orlando City South. This is the first meeting, however, this season of South Florida versus Orlando City North, and it's being held at their own complex. As you can see, it's a turf field. The weather is fairly nice. It's kind of overcast. As you'll see, there's not going to be much sunlight on the field for very much longer. And this Orlando City team is proving to be a tough one this season, as I believe they currently sit second or third within the ranking for the MLS Next in the Southern region. As the boys start to warm up, we'll be looking at the team here shortly that Coach Greg is going to be fielding, and we'll see how we line up. Looks like Coach Greg's going to go with the same lineup that we had against Idea Sport, with Brandon, Edon, and Matthew in our back line, followed by Julian and Lano as the defensive midfielders, with Mora, Brian, and JC making up the forward midfield, as well as Nick and Karapetian up front. So it worked against Idea Sport. Let's see if it's going to work against Orlando City. The team was a little bit more active and a little bit more forward moving in how they played. So let's see if we can bring that type of play to this Orlando City team and see what result we get. Definitely should put them on their back heel, as it did against Idea Sport. They didn't seem to know what to do with that type of formation, and hopefully it will have the same result here today. As Coach Greg gives the game plan to the players, we're going to stop for a second to do the coin toss, and we'll see what we turn up here. And there it is. Looks like it's going to go Orlando City's way, and SFFA is choosing the side of the field that they want to play on, and we're going to start it up here shortly. So exciting matchup today. Last year's season ended kind of controversially against Orlando City. Kind of a back and forth game at Loggers Run Park, ending with a penalty that unfortunately was not made, but the game ended in a tie. It was a very back and forth game. Goals for both sides. It was very exciting, and some bad blood here. Hopefully we'll be able to work things out in the next few minutes as this ball goes into touch for an Orlando City throw. And away we go. Matthews there to kick that ball up the field. However, it didn't reach another South Florida player. Julian now on the ball, making some room through the middle, trying to get it off to Mora. Mora's at the top of the box. He's trying to get some foot on a ball, and it gets kicked away. Edon putting it back into the area, finds Nick. Nick trying to make some footwork happen here. Looking for the cross, gets blocked, and Orlando City is going up the field. Down the line as they try to go, Lano and Brandon are there, cause a little bit of disruption to their play. Orlando City now through the middle as JC's there to intercept, gets it off to Karapetian. Karapetian trying to find JC again, making a run for it. Oh, and he gets pushed in the back for the first foul of the game. This one clearly a push as the Orlando City player decides to just push him to the ground as he knows he was going to win that ball, and getting a talking to here by the referee, letting him know that that sort of play is not going to be tolerated in this game. Glad to see that, because some of these games have been getting quite physical and have needed a steady hand in order to keep them in check. As Edon plays short to Matthew. Matthew up to Karapetian. Karapetian looking for JC, a little bit of a high pass, but it brings it back down, and Orlando City regains control. Long ball up the field by Orlando City, finds their striker, who kicks this ball up, but Edon's going to be able to get there and play this ball out of bounds. So far, so good. South Florida looking like they're getting the ball into forward positions as we wait to throw in here. Orlando City playing the ball back. JC there to meet it. Now Orlando looking to switch the side. Finds their right back. Orlando in a similar formation to South Florida as they play this ball down the line. Don reads the pass well and gets it off to Brandon. Brandon off to Nick. Nick is off to the races and is getting that ball down the line, trying to find Mora. Mora again, trying to find the ball. Gets there. And looks like this one's going to be picked up again by the Orlando City right back, who plays it long, but Brandon there to head it back down the line. And back up the field again we go. A little bit of acting there by the Orlando City player. Not really sure what happened there. It didn't look like much of a contact was made, but certainly a dramatic falling to the ground occurred. A little bit of play acting there, I can see, as this ball is played into the box. Ooh, in a dangerous spot. Orlando City player almost got a ball to it, almost got a foot to it, I should say. And luckily that goes out of bounds for a goal kick. Brandon placing the ball on the ground, plays it out short to Matthew. Matthew looks up the field, finds Lano. Lano moving the ball nicely, moves the ball up the field, finds Nick. Nick chests it down for Brian. Brian looking long, playing the ball over the top to Nick. Nick takes a shot and it goes wide. But a very nice exchange of passes. Oh, and it looks like he's going to be offside there. Yep, just a little ahead of the last defender. Not by much. Nick does like to play up there close to the line. Gives him the best advantage to get ahead of the defenders. And we're waiting for the kick. And it's into a pocket of space that Orlando City player has found. Brandon giving him a little bit of difficulty as he passes this one back. Ball coming across the field now. Julian there to poke it away. Orlando maintain possession, playing this ball down the right side, just a little too much for their right wing to get on top of. And we have another goal kick. Brandon looking to go a little bit longer this time. Looking for Lano. Ball drops in the middle of the field. Orlando City playing cautiously, playing the ball back when they don't have the passes forward. JC trying to make a slide there to intercept that ball. Nick now on it. A little bit of confusion there between him and Karapetian. And Orlando City gets back in possession of this and playing the ball back all the way to their goalie as Nick gives pursuit. Orlando City looking very calm on the ball, making the passes, probing to see if they could find any weaknesses in the South Florida defense, playing the ball on the right side again. Egon there to meet the need as he comes away with that ball very nicely. Orlando City get it back. Orlando City now at the top of the box. This is a dangerous shot, and it's wide of the goal. Orlando City with a couple of big strikers that are looking to harass this back line of South Florida. Definitely going to give us a handful today from the way that they're playing. Let's see how we do. Brandon playing it short again to Matthew on the goal kick. Matthew over to JC. JC trying to explore some space here. Finds Lano. Lano down the line to Karapetian. Karapetian, ball goes over his foot. This is a long ball. Not sure why that wasn't called offsides, but Edon comes away with it. Still in some danger here, unable to clear the line as Orlando retains possession. Playing again to that right side. And now finding nothing there, going backwards. Ball played in. Lano there to kick that one away. Headed back in. JC missed the touch there, but Matthew comes away with it, passes it up to JC. JC on the run. Met by an Orlando City player who passes the ball back yet again. Under some pressure here. See what happens. Orlando now playing out of the back. Karapetian and Nick applying the pressure into these Orlando City defensive players. And it looks like we're going to be called for a handball. Ball bounced up and it appeared to caught Lano in the hand. And Orlando City takes this one quick, trying to get it up to one of these big strikers that they have down here. Matthew applying the pressure deep in our own territory. Play the ball out to the box, and it's in there looking for a header. It comes across the goal and out of bounds. As we take another look at this handball, yeah, it just kind of creeps up there and touches Lano on the arm as we have our first corner kick of the day. Orlando City set to take this one. It's a nice ball into the box, parried away by Brandon. Doesn't get very far though. Lano trying to get ahead to it and does. Down to the foot of an Orlando City player who tries to put it back in and can't do it. Mora now applying pressure, trying to get this ball out of an area. And here we go. Orlando City back on the ball. Mora applying some pressure there. South Florida just trying to contain this Orlando threat right now to our area. As Orlando forced to play this ball back yet again. And now swinging it around. JC sprinting up the field, trying to make something happen. Orlando City now breaking through our line. Another shot blocked by M.A.D. Brian comes away with it, tries to get it to JC, can't find him. And Orlando again back on this ball very calmly. Oh, this one poked away by Julian, but not too far as another Orlando City player picks it up. And Orlando City again playing this ball into the right side. Here comes a cross, but no danger there as this one goes behind the goal. Well, Orlando City in the driver's seat so far. South Florida not finding many pathways here into Orlando territory. It seems that Orlando just is smothering the ball whenever we get it. As Brandon plays this one long, looking for Morrow, finds him as he chests this ball down and it goes out of bounds. South Florida trying to find something, but no headway so far. As this throw-in is deflected by Morrow, but still finds an Orlando City player. And again, into touch. Well, I'll tell you, this Orlando City team is fairly large in size. They only have a few players that are about the same height as some of our boys. As Morrow kicks this ball long, trying to find Nick or Karapetian, but I think they were coming back to assist with the defensive effort, so there was nobody there. The Orlando City keeper plays it long, finds his number 10, as he plays a nice ball into the box. Don and Matthew there to corral the striker out of the play. Ball coming back into the center. Julian there to kick it away. Finds Karapetian. Karapetian heads this ball, but can't find anybody in. Looks like he's going to be blowed for a foul for an incidental contact to the back of the leg of one of these Orlando players. Well, if his legs weren't that long, he wouldn't make contact with him. Nah, just wanted his fault for being tall. As Orlando City plays this ball out to the back, finds their keeper yet again. And working the right side. Looking for a pass. Finds the center of the field. Lano looks like he got away with a foul there. Brian plays this ball up to Karapetian. Karapetian's got a nice run here. He's looking for somebody on the right side. Can't find him. Plays it out to the left side. Nick is on the run. See if Nick can get there. And he gets cut off by the right back of Orlando City, who plays this ball out. And down the right side. Ooh, nice move by their striker, but it's not going to be enough as Don was there to cover. Let's take another look at this. Looks like we got away with one there as Lano tried to go through the Orlando City player to get to that ball. No call made, and that could have turned into something very nice for South Florida. Here comes Orlando City. Another nice move by this Orlando City right wing as he crosses this ball in. Matthew's there to deal with it, but it doesn't go very far as another shot comes in. It deflects off the back of Matthew, and Lano's there to clear the ball. Trying to get the ball back up to Karapetian, is unable to. And JC now applying the pressure. Orlando City forced to cross this ball yet again, looking for the other side, and they find him. Morrow there. Makes a nice play on the ball. Can he get there? He does. Plays this ball up to Nick. Nick with a nice touch. Oh, looks like he just gets cut off by the center back there. And the Orlando City keeper kicks this ball down the field. Brandon there to bring it down with his chest, but unfortunately the Orlando City player picks it up. And we got some trouble. Here comes another cross. Matthew there again. Puts this ball into touch for a corner. Luckily he was there because there was nothing but trouble for us with two Orlando City players in the box with the ball coming in. And yet another corner for Orlando City. This one is a short cross. Lano there to kick it up to Nick. Nick putting the ball long as there was nobody to pass to. And the Orlando City keeper now in control. Orlando playing very cautiously and just looking for the open feet of their players as Matthew comes and intercepts that one, plays it up to JC. JC playing the ball long but can't find Karapetian. Applying some pressure to this Orlando City defense, trying to come away with the ball here in their own territory would be nice. As the Orlando City player is very patient here, but ends up playing this ball out. And it looks like it's going to be Orlando City ball, the referee indicating that it came off JC in the last touch. Ball thrown in. JC able to get the head to it. Here comes Lano applying some pressure to the ball. Don comes away with the interception there. Julian now with the ball. Julian looking for a pass. Finds Brian. Brian under some pressure. Back to Julian. Julian trying to make something happen. Looks and finds Brandon on the left side. Brandon trying to make a move go, but can't do it. And another spectacular move by this Orlando City right wing as he comes away with the ball and makes a nice pass into his number 10. Number 10 met by Matthew, and he isn't going to go any further. And it looks like this ball is going to go out again for Orlando City. Well, the defense certainly is stepping up here. Orlando City throwing coming in, and that one's going to be offsides. And it'll be a free kick for South Florida. Like I said, defense doing its job here. I'm sure they wish they weren't having to do too much of their job, but definitely having to be putting in the overtime today against this Orlando City team that looks very sharp and very attack-oriented, especially on that right side as Brian comes away with the pass here. Another one intercepted. Maintain control, gets it to JC. JC tries to put it up in the air, and it goes into touch for South Florida. You see Brian here occupying the space there, takes the ball not once but twice from Orlando City players, looking for that pass up to Nick, but saw he was covered, maintained control, and was able to get that pass off to JC. That's some smart play, and hopeful to see some more of it as this game continues. Nick comes away with the ball here off the throw, dribbling a couple of Orlando players. Brian to Karapetian. Karapetian harassed. Brian comes back down with it. Now JC and Brian trying to get to the ball, unable to do so. I'll tell you, this Orlando team, when they're being threatened, they swarm. It's at least 3 players you're coming up against when you get possession of this ball. As JC heads this one away to Karapetian. Karapetian finds Julian. Julian to Nick with a nice pass. Nick looking for space. Looks like he got fouled, but no call on the field. As Orlando City comes away with this one and plays it out to the right side. South Florida in transition here, but they have the numbers to stop this attack if they need to. And the ball is trying to be played in, but Edon takes care of that one, and it goes into touch. Let's take another look here and see what we've got. If this was a foul or not. And it looks like he got the ball, but he hung that foot out there, and Nick definitely got caught up by it. Not quite sure how this game's going to go. Thought the ref was going to be a little bit exacting with his rulings, but so far has let a couple of fouls slide. Oh, as this right wing for Orlando City is definitely going to give us a problem today as he continues to make move after move and putting the ball in the dangerous areas. This one again goes out for a corner for Orlando City. With the height of Orlando City, this is dangerous. They have several players that are considerably taller than ours. As this ball is played in, and nice block by Brandon from a shot from outside of the box. Brandon throwing this one out, looking for JC. JC trying to get there and does. Let's see if he won the throw, and he did not. This ball coming down is low ball. Hard for the goalie to see that ball through all those feet, but he was able to do very well and got down low enough in order to block that shot and prevent it from being the first goal of the game. As Lano plays some nice defense here, but still allows a corner for another Orlando City corner kick. Well, let's see how this one does as the ball comes in. Brandon there to parry it away. This time it goes up to the top of the box. Matthew now kicks it up, finds Karapetian. Karapetian on the run, finds Nick. Nick dribbling through, puts the ball into space. Orlando City player read it well and was able to kick it away. And it looks like we have a foul here as the Orlando City player tried to go through Brandon in order to kick that ball. So that's going to be a foul going our way, and Edon's going to take the free kick. Well, that was a heck of a parry by Brandon, punching that ball out of that area. I tell you, these corner kicks are getting more and more dangerous from Orlando City as they play this ball up to their right wing. He's got some space here. He's going to cross it in. Finds an Orlando City player who pops the ball in the air, but it was out of danger as it went out in a bounce for a goal kick. As we look again here at Brandon's parry, look at that ball go sailing out there. What a punch. Great job by the keeper to clear his line as he rolls this one out to Brandon. Brandon, ball gets to Julian. Julian back to Brandon. Brandon over to Edon. Edon's going to have to play this one long. And able to get through the gap. Karapetian's there. Karapetian running, puts the ball into space. Oh, defender just got a foot to it. Nick now on the ball. This ball is getting bounced around like a ping pong. Matthew now comes away with it. Matthew takes a shot, and just not enough on that. It bounces harmlessly in front of the goalie. But that one looked like one we might have gotten away with. Ball bouncing here. Lano puts a head to it. Ball goes down the field. Brandon's calling everybody off. He's going to be able to control this one. Picks it up. Rolls it out to Edon. Edon now. Nice little move in front of goal. Finds Lano. Lano playing the ball long. And a little too long as it drops to the keeper. Keeper rolls this one out to the top of his box. There's two SFFA players there to deal with that. Forced to pass it away. And Orlando City now on the move. Passing nicely as this one goes out to the right side. Now JC there to deal with that one as he's switched over to the left, it appears. And Matthew has now moved up to the right. As we take another look at this shot. Now he wishes he could get that one back, as that one kind of didn't have enough mustard on it to make anything look dangerous. As Orlando City kicks this one out for a goal kick. So Coach Greg already making some switches. Looks like JC's over on the left side. We now have Kawa over on the right back, with Matthew now moving up to right mid. As Matthew cuts through some Orlando City defenders here, finds Brian. Brian with a nice couple of moves here. Finds Karapetian. Karapetian now dancing on the ball. Looking for Brian in the middle of the field. Can't find him. As Orlando City now back in transition. And they are looking pretty good here, although our defense got back in time. Ball at the top of the box. Kawa steps in. Julian now on the ball, looking for someone to pass to. Finds Matthew. Matthew putting the ball up, but it's blocked and kicked into touch for a South Florida throw. Matthew throwing the ball in, down the line, looking for Karapetian. Karapetian kicks his ball up in the air, hoping to find Nick. Ball bounces around a little bit. Orlando City clearing their line. Nice header by the Orlando City striker. Brandon forced to come out of the box. Kicks this ball long down the field. Let's see if Karapetian can get on it as Orlando City kicks this ball in the touch. Wow, what a clearance by Brandon. As you can see, he was needed to kick that ball long, as that Orlando City striker was bearing down on the ball. Matthew here to take the throw in. Ball headed up and back. And into space, Matthew's going to come down with it again. Looking for a pass, finds Karapetian out to the right. Trying to get it back to Matthew, but he is covered. Matthew tries to get this ball back, and the Orlando City players are running down the field. Play the ball back to the middle. Up the field. Over to the right side. And again, Orlando City looking for the cross. Looks like they're not going to be able to get it off here, and a foul called. And it looked like the Orlando City player sort of stopped short while Edon was trying to make his run and tripped him up, and he ended up falling on top of him. And he is called for the foul. And this is a dangerous spot here, as Orlando City's had several corners from this side already. And the ball is up, headed, but across the goal and off to the side. I don't think that's where he wanted to put it. Orlando City now back on the ball, working it backwards. And back up into the area. Edon there to deal with it. Again, Edon putting the ball into space now. Hopefully Karapetian can get on it. I believe he can. Oh, no. Just goes out of bounds just before he could get a foot to it. A reminder, our next game is going to be the IMG Cup in Bradenton, Florida. IMG Cup, a prestigious tournament here in South Florida. Teams from all across the country and from outside the United States participate in the IMG Cup. It's going to be quite a tournament. South Florida actually had to be approved in order to attend that tournament. So we'll see how it goes. We hope to bring all the action from that tournament when we video there live the weekend of December 16th through the 19th, I believe. So we will see you guys there when that tournament arrives. Back to the action here. Nick now on the ball, trying to make something happen. As this one bounces around in the midfield, Julian applying some pressure in the sense of basically grappling the Orlando City player, as Matthew comes away with this one in front of the box. Oh, collision in the midfield. No foul called. Julian looks like he's a little shaken up from the blow, but gets up. He's hobbling around a little bit. There had to have been a foul in there somewhere. Maybe it was just mutual combatants. But, ooh, that was a heck of a collision, as Orlando City play this ball back yet again. Orlando City, like I mentioned before, very calm, willing to play the ball back, looking for opportunities, moving and shifting. As their number 10 tries to play across, can't find any space, so forced to play it back yet again. Orlando City now back on the other side of the field. As they're looking for someone to get the ball to here. This ball is played up to their number 10, Kawhi, on him. This ball played in the box, but Don was just there and intercepted it nicely and played the ball out the field. Well, thankfully for South Florida, it seems like the Orlando's plays seem to break down as they get to the box. They have some nice passing and good positioning up until then. They just can't seem to find that last bit of quality in the final third. Nice slide tackle there by Kawhi, looking for a foul as this ball is played up the line to Brandon. Brandon putting it into a dangerous area, but cleared yet again by the Orlando City right back. And into touch for another South Florida throw. Taking another look at this, Kawhi doing very good positioning-wise, able to get that ball to Lano, was definitely pulled down. Should have been something from the referee, maybe a talking to after the foul, as he looked like he was playing advantage, although playing out of the back is really no advantage at all, as Orlando City again kicks this ball in the touch for another South Florida throw. Well, we are deep in Orlando territory here as Matthew takes this throw in, finds Bryant at the top of the box. Shot! Oh, blocked by the Orlando City keeper. Wow, that one was definitely going in. If it had a chance, it was dropping. And the Orlando City keeper got both hands to it, popped it up, and then was able to catch it. But a nice shot by Bryant on goal. Man, that would have been something if that had gone in. And it looks like we got an offsides call here against Orlando. As you can see, he's clearly beyond the South Florida defenders when that ball comes. And good call by the referee as Don looks to take this free kick. Headed forward by Nick. Fortunately, nobody is there. The Orlando City keeper just effortlessly picks it up with one hand and kicks the ball long, only to find Lano. Lano trying to find a South Florida player to head it to, but nobody was there. As this ball is played out to the right side, another cross coming in. Don deals with that one and heads it, tries to head it out for a throw-in. Fortunately, it lands for a corner, and Orlando City will be back on that corner spot. Each and every one of these crosses has been dangerous, and it seems like an Orlando City player has gotten to the ball at least 50% of the time. Brandon, the goalie, getting to him the other times. As this ball comes in, it's short yet again. And it looks like Gavin dealt with that one, who had just checked in. And this ball goes out of bounds yet again for another corner. This one played a little bit longer. Orlando City player gets ahead to it, but heads it back to the top of the box. As another shot comes in, this one straight at Brandon, who catches it. Nice job by the keeper. As we said earlier, Gavin checked in for Julian. Now taking up that center defensive mid spot along with Lana. As this ball's played up to Matthew, can't get a hold of it and goes out of bounds. As we see here, this shot coming in right at the keeper, who cradles it and comes down with it as we wait for the Orlando City throw. Down the line it goes, finding the big Orlando striker while trying to deal with him the best he can. Nice slide, get in there. Orlando City player looking for a foul. He's not going to get it as Don measures and looks for the pass, puts the ball in the space, forcing the Orlando keeper to come out and kick it away. Well outside of his box. Brandon now on the other end, kicking this ball away out of danger. Definitely some issues there as Matthew got that pass off to Mateo, who had also checked in. Mateo off to JC. JC trying to get the pass off. It is blocked. Mateo back to try to cover as Orlando City is playing this ball again. Back to their center backs. Karapetian now trying to apply the pressure. Up to the middle. Matthew struggling to get back, but is able to do so as they're playing a little bit of give and go here, Orlando City. Don now on this one, and it is out again for another corner. As you can see, Kawa doing a heck of a job here with a much bigger and stronger opponent, but is not letting him get anything for free. As this ball again is played long in the corner, Brandon comes outstretched arm. This one blocked off the line now by Don and kicked out for a throw. Brandon went way out of the box in order to get that one, or way out of his area to get that one, and he's not able to deal with it for another Orlando City throw. Waiting for the throw in. And Orlando City is going to maintain possession. Nice pass inside the box. Don again there to deal with it, trying to head it away. Looking for Mateo. Mateo kicks the ball long. Nick now with the ball. Looking for a pass. Finds M.A.D, who has just checked in for JC. And this ball again played long, looking for a South Florida player that just isn't there. And the Orlando keeper comes down with it. Orlando keeper playing it long. Kawhi there to get ahead to it, as he is hustling today to try to keep this Orlando City offense in check. Mateo trying to make a move on this ball. Orlando City again playing it off to the right side. M.A.D running to get there. Oh, ball stopped on the line. M.A.D comes away with it. Passes the ball to Gavin. Gavin now looking for the pass to Mateo. Gets it cut off. Oh, now South Florida has some trouble here. As this ball's playing in the box. Nice header. He's down there with a foot. And he kicks it along. Orlando City again back in possession, as they have been most of this game. And willing to keep possession of the ball as they pass this ball around through the back. Completing a number of passes. Looking for opportunities here, as Matthew now comes away with that one. And passes up to Karapetian. Karapetian now looking to the middle. Trying to find Nick, but had it cut off. Orlando City now putting the ball back up the field. Kicked long by Edon. And now Gavin kicking that ball up the field. It seems that South Florida is just trying to stay alive here before halftime with 0-0 on the scoreboard, as we are not really looking for passes at this point. We're just trying to kick the ball out of our area. As another ball goes long, this one actually does find one of our players. Nick trying to play the ball to Karapetian, but it had it blocked by an Orlando City player who plays it back to his goalie. Goalie for Orlando playing the ball long, finds the head of Brandon. And Brandon heads it away for a throw-in for Orlando City. Well, it's just all about survival at this point before we get to the halftime. Trying to keep that scoreboard 0-0 so Coach Greg can come up with a game plan for the second half. This Orlando team is big, strong, fast, and they are very patient, which is dangerous for any team. As this ball is played in the box and Edon deals with it nicely. It's very frustrating when a team has possession as much as Orlando City does, because the players obviously want to get on the ball, they want to get a rhythm, and they're being denied that by the possession play of Orlando City, as Kawhi deals with that pass. So it's definitely going to be something for Coach Greg to work on during halftime to see if he can come up with something that will keep South Florida in this game. An unenviable position for anybody, as this Orlando City team appears to be a very tough nut to crack. And this ball goes out for a goal kick. Don set to take this one, as he plays it long up the field of just about midway. Headed back by Orlando City player. Headed back again by Lano. This time Matthew now on the ball. He's looking for Nick. Plays the ball across. Gets into a dangerous area, but a Orlando City player there to deal with it, the right back, as he has dealt with most of these long balls that South Florida have been playing. Orlando now again, passing the ball very nicely in the back. Finding feet wherever they go. Ball now trying to get some pressure here, and he's able to accomplish it coming away with the ball. And Orlando City now playing to the right side, their right side. And they look to put one on the scoreboard here before halftime. Playing the ball down the line. Gavin looked like he got pushed in the back, no call. As Orlando City comes away with this yet again. And playing to the right side. Nice move by the right wing. And Orlando City plays it into the box. Not a threatening ball, and he's on there to pass it up to Mateo. Mateo now finds Nick. We got some areas here to make some passes as Nick finds Matthew. Matthew was spaced to run. He puts this ball into the spot, trying to find Karapetian. Karapetian couldn't get to the ball, and Orlando City yet again takes possession. Ball coming down the line again. Lano there applies some pressure, forcing the ball back as Orlando switches the side yet again. As we said before, Orlando very patient on the ball. Here comes a long ball. Lano deals with that nicely, no issues. Mateo fighting for possession, unable to get it. Don plays it into the feet of an Orlando player, but it still jumbles around in there. Matthew now on it. Finds Karapetian. Karapetian now dancing on the ball. Finds Nick. Nick trying to run through some players here, trying to make something happen. Still has possession. Passes the ball back to Kawa. Kawa up to Mateo. Hard pass. Difficult for Mateo to handle it. Kawa gets it back to Nick. Nick trying to make a run down the sideline and is got the ball poked away from him. And I think that will do it for the half. Well, definitely a difficult task ahead for Coach Greg, but some signs of life from South Florida there at the end. Seemed we got some good passes off and we were making some threatening runs. This Orlando City defense, though, seems prepared for any type of run that we're throwing at them, cutting off multiple passes. However, the Orlando City team looking very sharp going forward. The South Florida defense looks even sharper as they seem to have dealt with every attack that they have had thrown at them. And with the outside shots of a couple of Orlando City players, which were dealt with nicely by Brandon, the keeper, it doesn't seem to have been much of a threat. The corners have been difficult to deal with through the size of the Orlando City players. However, their headers have been mainly off target. Their shots as well. So hopefully in the second half, the Orlando City strikers don't find their feet and don't find the back of the net. But with South Florida's defense playing like it has, with some performances from Idan and from Kawa, we've been doing an excellent job so far. As we get ready to start the second half here, doesn't appear to be too many changes for South Florida. Karapetian still up front along with Nick. Gavin still in the lineup as well as Mateo. All right, back three are still Kawa, Don, and Brandon. As this ball comes into a dangerous area, Brandon able to take care of it. Kicks the ball long out to the left side. Ball put back into the box by the Orlando City player. Kawa there to head it away and out of danger. Orlando City back on the ball yet again. Orlando City with some amazing crosses and balls into the box this game. But so far not able to capitalize on it as this ball is going long, but no real threat as it goes over the bar. Orlando City do have some threats from outside the box, but their shots don't appear to have had any major issues with our goal. So we'll see how the game progresses as this ball is played long. Gavin gets ahead to it, trying to bring it down. Orlando City coming away with the ball now in the top of a box. Mateo comes away, passes it back to M.A.D. M.A.D looking down the line, can't find anybody. Orlando City comes away with it again. M.A.D gets a foot to this one, but it lands to Orlando City player. Passes the ball back. Little give and go, trying to make it happen. Brandon there to block it off. Finds Nick. Nick back to Brian. Brian harassed by an Orlando City player, gives it up. And now South Florida's in a rush to get back. Ball across and through the middle. Oh man, that was dangerous. As you can see, caught out of place. This ball doesn't find anybody and goes right on through. Oh boy, we were lucky on that one. As Brandon plays this one out of the box, finds Gavin to Matthew. Matthew having to play the ball back to Kawa. Kawa back to Matthew now. Matthew over to Gavin looking for the give and go. Gavin unfortunately passed it to an Orlando City player. Orlando City now harassed by Karapetian, who gives the ball away. South Florida throw. Matthew looking up the field. Finds Brian. Brian back to Kawa. Kawa trying to find Matthew on the line there, but he has it blocked. And for another South Florida throw. Matthew looking down the field, finds Karapetian. And Gavin here to deal with that one. Brian comes away with it. Brian trying to find the pass, and it seems like every pass we make, it clatters off of a foot of an Orlando City player who is occupying the passing lane. This ball goes back to Idan. Idan to Gavin. Gavin over to Brandon. Brandon now looking for M.A.D. M.A.D back to Mateo. Mateo looking across, finds Gavin. Gavin to Kawa. Kawa while looking for Karapetian, who was on a nice run, but unfortunately just didn't have the angle, and it goes into touch. Orlando City throw in. Gavin gets ahead to it. Looks like Kawad's going to pass this one back to Edon. Edon looking for someone up the field, but it's not there. And Brian forced to commit the foul. Now a little hand on the back. Not much else there. Oh, a little bit of a pull of the arm. But a smart foul, as Orlando looked like they were going to be threatening to go in our area yet again. Orlando in a good spot here as they cross this ball in. This one's headed away by Brandon into another dangerous area. Gavin able to clear the box. Shot from way outside. No threat whatsoever as this one's put into the trees by the right back of Orlando City. Brandon placing the ball on the ground, going to play short. Brandon, ooh, nice pass through the legs of the Orlando City defender. Find Mateo. Mateo over to Brian. Brian back over to M.A.D. Nice passing combinations here as Nick's able to get a foot to that one, but it's called for offside. Wow. Okay. Unfortunately, our cameras couldn't catch that offside call. I'm just going to have to take the referee's word for it. But it looked like he was within the defender to receive that ball as Kawhi heads this one out to the right. Nice passing combinations by South Florida on that attack. Looked promising. Let's hope we get a few more going as the game continues. Orlando City again being very cautious in their attack, looking for passes and finding them. Down the line and out of bounds. Going to be a South Florida throw. M.A.D looking. Throws the ball back, finds Brandon. Brandon trying to cut the ball inside, gets it taken away. Don now having to deal with this right wing of Orlando City, able to do it. And comes away with the ball. Finds Mateo. Mateo back to Don. Don on a nice run here. Looking for Nick up the field. Can't get the ball through, but wins a throw in for South Florida. Well, this right wing for Orlando City has been a pain, to say the least, as he's applying considerable pressure here to our South Florida defenders. And Don able to deal with him nicely, though, and come away with it. M.A.D takes the throw in, gives it to Brian. Brian back to M.A.D. M.A.D to Mateo. Mateo looking across the field. Can't find Gavin. And Orlando City back in the attack, although this ball is a little long. Don now in control. Looking for a pass. Finds Matthew. Matthew off to Gavin. Gavin back to Matthew. Nice give and go. Matthew over to Karapetian. Karapetian out on the run, looking for Matthew. Finds him again. Matthew still running on the right side, looking for the cross, and only finds the keeper. Well, another round of good passing by South Florida. Maybe they've found a weakness in this Orlando City defense to exploit. As we've had two last possessions have had some nice passing within them, as Don deals with the striker from Orlando City. Now Orlando on the throw. Moving the ball nicely yet again. Oh, find a nice pass through. Kawhi there, though, to deal with him. That ball comes in. Brandon comes out and grabs it. And rolls it out to Matthew, who's got some space on the right side. Oh, took a little too heavy of a touch there. Had to speed up to get that ball, but it's luckily out for a throw-in. Matthew throwing the ball in, finds Nick. Nick able to come down with it, making a run. Gives it up to Matthew. Matthew now on the ball, tries to cross it, has it blocked. Orlando City kicking the ball up in the air. Can't find their own player. Finds Gavin. Gavin to Mateo. Mateo finds Brian. Brian trying to get through. Pokes the ball through. Gets it off to M.A.D. M.A.D crosses the ball. Nick now on it. Can we make it happen? Nick dribbling through. Oh, poked away by the Orlando City defender. As we take another look, yeah, looks like he got all ball there. And it's going to be the first corner for South Florida as Nick stands over the ball. Matthew running out to try to take it short. Ball played into the box. Oh, off Karapetian's shoulder. Back to Nick. Nick putting it back in again, looking for Don this time. I'm sorry, Mateo. Looking for Mateo this time. Can't find him as the Orlando City keeper jumps up and takes it. Gavin with his hands full, able to poke that ball away with his foot. But now South Florida in some trouble here on the transition. Edon, able to poke that ball away. And looking for a pass, finds Matthew, who came back. Matthew down the line. And it's going to be a South Florida throw. We got lucky here as I think we were caught out. Edon able to get that ball. It was clean. And these Orlando players not afraid to fall to the ground with the slightest of ease. Luckily did not come away with a foul call there. As this ball's passed around, Nick passes it back to Brian. Brian trying to find that space to hit Nick. Just can't do it today. As this ball is kicked clear by the Orlando City keeper. Mateo comes down with the ball in the center of the field. Edon over to Kawhi. Kawhi now looking for a pass. Puts the ball up in the air. Cannot find a South Florida player. Edon hits this ball down to Mateo. Mateo controlling. Pass it back to Kawhi. Kawhi to Edon. Edon working it around the field. Finds Brandon. Brandon over to Ahmed. Ahmed back to Brandon. A little pressure here from the Orlando team. Brandon finds Mateo. Oh, Mateo has the ball poked away by an Orlando player. This is dangerous. Nice turn by the Orlando striker. Kawhi again, a nice slide tackle there to poke that ball away. And Orlando still maintain possession of this ball, working the ball on the outside. Matthew pokes the ball away now. Orlando City still comes away with it. And Orlando trying to play this ball across and finds their right back. Ahmed trying to apply some pressure there, overruns him a little bit. And now we got some trouble as Brandon has to try to cover two. And here's that Orlando City right wing. He puts the ball up. Oh, Brandon up in the air and brings that ball down for another Orlando City corner. Wow, Brandon getting some airtime. Blocking this cross as he leaps in the air, gets a hand to it and out of bounds. I think we got it from another angle. Oh, yeah, here it is. Brandon getting all of that, making sure nothing comes across that goal. And you can just see the ferocity that he showed in that denial to that Orlando City player. Great job by the keeper today as he prevents another dangerous ball from entering the box. Here comes Orlando City's corner. And headed away by Ahmed. Gavin giving chase. Orlando City maintained possession. Finding the feet of Orlando players very nicely. The movement off the ball is really something to be seen as they continue to maintain possession of this. And crossing the ball yet again to the other side of the field. Just something to watch. I'm kind of in awe right now. Why you're not hearing me too much, because of the way they're just able to possess this ball and maintain possession. The movement, once they make the pass, just creating openings, creating the ability to pass the ball when they're in trouble. And here we go again, working to the other side yet again. South Florida, all they can do right now is just watch, as Orlando City is just in complete control of this ball. Able to come away with one here, though. As Mateo pokes that ball away, gets it off to Karapetian. Karapetian off to Matthew. Matthew trying to make a run with the ball. Plays the ball up to Nick. Finds him. Nick trying to get that ball into a dangerous space. Pops it up. Finds Brian. Brian trying to get a foot to it. Pokes it out to Ahmed. Ahmed trying to make something happen and wins a corner. Whoa. Finally. Some life from South Florida as they looked like they were just chasing the ball there for a little bit. Ahmed now in the corner using that left foot. Puts the ball short right at the goalie. Orlando now coming out fast. South Florida is going to have to get back here. As Orlando crosses this ball to yet another open player. Matthew running, trying to get back. As Orlando's getting numbers forward here. Kawhi able to poke that one away out for a Orlando throw. It is always dangerous coming back from a corner. You just never know when a team is going to burst out at full speed and come at you with numbers. And Orlando City certainly did it there as they work this throw in off from the left side. Ball's into the box. Ahmed there to clear it. City player coming down with it. And again, playing it back for safety, maintaining possession. Seems to be the key to their game. All the way back to the keeper. And here we go yet again. Back to the keeper. Nick almost got there. Oh, seems to be an injury there. Maybe he got stepped on by that Orlando keeper or twisted an ankle. Looks like we're going to continue to play. The referee just stopped the play as South Florida got possession of the ball in the middle of the field. We take another look. He got stepped on as he tried to make a play on that ball before the keeper got it off. It looks like he's going to be okay as a drop ball for South Florida as Don plays this ball long, looking for M.A.D. M.A.D. able to make some contact there. Nice little chip ball back. Oh, just can't find Nick. As Orlando City now taking off. Ryan comes in. I'm sorry, that's Gavin. Gavin comes in. Gets the pass off to Brian. Brian with the shot here. Doesn't take it. Gets it off to Nick. Nick, there's some contact there. No foul called. Nothing. As we take another look, Nick's running in on the ball. The right back comes over, makes contact with him. But it doesn't look like it's enough for the referee to call for a penalty. As the Orlando City keeper kicks this one long. I'll tell you, Nick is definitely doing his best to get into the box as Matthew's on the ball here, plays this ball off to the right. Finds Karapetian. Karapetian trying to get the ball back to Matthew, and Orlando City now off to the races here as they got some numbers going forward. This ball's played down the left side. Don, caught out of place here. Orlando keeper. Brandon comes out. Oh no, it's off the chest of the Orlando player and to number 17 who kicks it in. Oh boy. 1-0 Orlando. Well, transition play is always difficult. We had numbers going forward. We got the ball turned over, and as you can see there, Brandon doing his best to come out. Makes contact with the ball, just wasn't able to clear it off to the side. It hits the Orlando player in the chest, falls effortlessly to their number 17, who's been causing problems for South Florida all day, and he just puts it in the back of the net for 1-0. Well, let's see if we can get it back here. South Florida was looking a lot better offensively, but that was probably due to the number of people we were committing forward. And whenever you commit a number of people forward, that means you got less people in the back to deal with any threats. And unfortunately, we just got caught out there. And now it's 1-0. As we're trying to hustle to get this ball back, Orlando's maintaining possession. This time playing the ball long. M.A.D. there again to clear it. Finds Mateo. Mateo trying to make something happen, but gets overtaken. And Orlando City playing the ball back into the box. Now at the top of the box. Brandon there to deal with that one. Well, another easy flop by the Orlando player as Brandon now is running down the field with this ball, looking good. Goes long, trying to find Karapetian, but it was read by the Orlando City player. But it turned back over to Nick. Nick now on the ball. Nick finding Karapetian. Karapetian looking. Finds, trying to get the ball back to Matthew, but had it poked away. Ran out of bounds. As we take another look here, not really much to that. I think the Orlando player was trying to make a meal out of a snack, and referee thankfully wasn't going for it as Matthew throws this ball in. Mateo getting harassed, trying to maintain possession, finally gets the ball backwards to Kawhi. Kawhi now playing this ball, trying to find Nick, can't do it. And Orlando City again off to the races, or at least trying. As Mateo fights for this ball, Brian comes down with it. Brian trying to find a pass, can't do it. And Orlando City maintains possession yet again. Orlando City playing this ball out to the right side. Find another player. Pops his ball up in the air. Brandon there to come out and get it. Brandon quickly down the line to Matthew. Matthew trying to cut the ball in. Takes a deflection off Orlando player. Stays in bounds. And Karapetian trying to apply the pressure here. Orlando City player really nowhere to go. And Karapetian kicks it out of bounds. So, a little wind taken out of the sails here with that 1-0. See if we can get back on the ball and make something happen. As this ball is thrown in, Brian's able to track it down. Trying to play the ball over to Nick, has it poked away. Mateo comes back away with it, gets it to Nick this time. Nick taking a nice turn inside, the right back there from Orlando. As he steps back in to try to get that ball, he commits a foul. I think he just got a little piece of his arm there, trying to get the advantage. And there's a little pull. Definitely going to get called, at least by this referee. And we have free kick for Orlando's keeper. Ball is sent long. M.A.D there trying to kick it away, but unfortunately only goes as far as an Orlando player, but he comes back down with it. And now playing it out to JC, who has checked in for M.A.D. Ball played back by Orlando as it has done all day, and worked around the field to the opposite side. After trying to get in front of the pass, unable to do so, M.A.D now off to the races trying to hunt down this Orlando City player who's now entered the box. Made a nice pass, and they just missed wide. Woo! Wow. Well, that was definitely dangerous. We got lucky there as the Orlando player put it wide. They definitely could have put that one in the back of the net. This ball's played back out to Matthew. Matthew trying to find Kawhi back in the backfield. Off to M.A.D. M.A.D forced to kick it out of bounds as there was nowhere else to go. Well, things are definitely coming a little unraveled here as we're trying to seek some sort of opportunity here as Matthew pokes that one away to Brian. Brian unable to dribble the Orlando defender. And Orlando playing some nice ticky-tack here to get a shot off, but it was blocked by M.A.D. Julian trying to get something going. Can't do it. Brandon kicks this ball to Julian. Julian to Brian. Brian being blocked off here. How is that not a foul? As this one's pinged off Julian's back. Karapetian gets ahead to it, finds Matthew. Matthew unable to control it. And we just look like we have a little bit of disorganized soccer here. This ball goes out of bounds. Just unable to create any type of space in order to make a pass once we get the turnover from Orlando, as Coach Greg switches out the keeper, Valentino coming in for Brandon. This ball played down the field, Julian to Brian. Brian trying to find a pass, can't do it. And Orlando just all over our South Florida players. Julian this time gets a touch, but it looks like there's going to be a foul called as Brian got a piece of the leg of the Orlando player. Free kick for Orlando. Let's see if they put this one in the box. Nope, they played short. Nick giving chase. Ball comes across. Valentino able to come down with it. Not a lot of movement there from South Florida. Hopefully they haven't given up here, as we still got plenty of time left to play here. Valentino plays this ball long. JC coming in to interfere with that ball. Orlando yet again finding nice passing as Matthew comes back from the interception. Tries to play this ball to Brian. It gets intercepted by Orlando. Orlando in a dangerous area. Shot blocked by Valentino. Gets away from him. Oh man, he was able to control it in the end, but a little scary moment there. As this ball's played up to JC. JC able to come down with it. Trying to control it. Has to play the ball back and it's fouled by the Orlando player. Whew! Tense moment there. As we take a look at this foul, yep. Looks like he just cuts in front of him. Honestly, Orlando's been doing that a couple of times today. It's the first time I've seen it called. As M.A.D plays this ball up the field, finds Karapetian. Karapetian has the ball taken away. As Orlando is trying to move this ball, they can't find a way forward, so they go back. Working the right side now. Finally having to force him to play it long. M.A.D's there to bring it down. As he brings the ball forward. Can't find a way through. But finds Brandon. Brandon to JC. JC cutting the ball back. Finds Julian. Julian trying to move the ball forward. Puts the ball in the space. And out of bounds. Take a look here by this shot by the Orlando City player. Don tries to get in there. Can't. Valentino able to get down. Gets the ball. Pops up a little bit, but he's able to control it before it rolls over the line. Good save by the keeper. As Orlando City takes the throw. Looking. Can't find anybody, so they pass the ball back. Gone, heading that ball forward. Orlando City, Brandon able to get a shoulder to it. Gets control for South Florida. Passes off to Julian. Julian to JC. JC trying to get control. Can't do it. Wins the throw. JC on the throw-in now. Finds Nick. Nick back to JC. JC back to Nick. Nick looked like he got fouled there, but no call. Is still able to come away with the ball. Takes a shot, but not much on it. No real threat to the goalie as he takes his time in collecting this pass. Orlando City now moving the ball up the field to the middle. Heavy touch by the Orlando player, but he doesn't suffer from it. And Matthew able to deflect that pass, and Valentino out to collect. Valentino taking his time, looking for an open player. Looks like Don's telling him to play it up the field. And he does with a long punt. Nick heads the ball down. Karapetian heads the ball down, looking for Brian. This ball broken up by the Orlando City player. Ball played up the field. And Orlando's coming away with it here as they charge in through the center. And Lano's there to break it up. And Brian puts the ball back over to the center. Orlando there to collect. Another shot. Don there in front of it. And down on the ground. And no shot threat there, really. As Valentino's able to easily collect it. Don having some words for the players here. I don't think he feels that they're giving enough effort. Just 4 Orlando City players seem to be chopping us up quite nicely, even though we have a majority of our players back on defense. As Brandon and JC are duking it out here with this Orlando City right wing. Oh, and another easy flop from an Orlando City player. As JC comes away with that ball, unfortunately doesn't get very far. And Orlando City again in front of the box. As Lano deals with this one very nicely. He gets it off to Brian. Brian now trying to make something happen, just can't do it. Karapetian applying some pressure. Nick charging forward. Can Nick get to the ball? Cannot. His ball swung out to the left side. A little bit of energy here from South Florida. Maybe some words from their captain got them motivated, as they seem to be harassing this Orlando City team some more. Come away with a nice little takeaway there, although Nick is called for the offsides. Coach Greg having a word with the referee as we take another look at here at the effort from JC and Brandon to corral this Orlando City player. As you can see, he just isn't quitting. He's got some good footwork with the ball. But JC and Brandon deal with him nicely as he just decides to flop on the ground after they did nothing at all to him. Quite a few actors here. I guess that's what they have at the Orlando City Academy. They must have acting 101 somewhere in their curriculum as this ball's played over and back. Possession 101 is definitely something in their curriculum, as that's something that they've been able to do all game. And as this one goes out of bounds. Oh boy. Well, as time wanes on here, we have less than 10 minutes to play. JC takes this throw. Let's hope we can get one, at least tie this up before the end of the match. As Don plays this one over to Kawak. Kawak has some trouble here. As again, he has a bigger, stronger player that he has to face off against, but he seems to be doing quite well with him today. Orlando maintaining possession. Ooh. Well, that could have been considered a foul, but not given, as Brian comes away with it. Brian looking. Finding Mora. Mora trying to play it back into the path of Brian. Just couldn't get enough on it, but it still lands to Julian. Julian plays it over to Nick. Nick's got some time in the ball. Finds Julian again, but he's covered. And it's a turnover. And again, here we go in transition. Orlando is speeding down the field here. And we got some problems here. Number 17, Hidon blocks a shot. It falls to number 8, Orlando. Orlando takes a shot, and it's a goal. Well, it was going to happen. We were trying to commit more players forward. And way Orlando City has just been passing this ball and been able to play today. With that many players forward and not enough players back, that's the result. Hidon playing this ball forward now. Oh, finds JC in a pocket of space. JC looking for a pass. Maybe it was a shot. Gets deflected, lands at the feet of Julian. Julian passes it up to JC. JC looks like he got rocked a little bit. And yes, there's finally a foul called. As you can see here, it looks like he gave him a little push in the back. It's enough for the referee to call it. And it gives us a nice free kick from a good field position. Let's see what South Florida does here as JC plays it short. Oh no! Orlando read it all the way. That could have been very dangerous. Thank goodness Lana was there to stop that attack. And Orlando get possession of the ball again. Well, Orlando definitely smells some blood in the water as their attacking seems to be a little bit more ferocious. Attacking the ball, that is. As JC has some time here, he plays this ball across into the middle. Takes a deflection. Mora could get on this, but the Orlando keeper just out jumps him. And Orlando now moving this ball up the field. Finds their right wing, and he makes another nice move. As it looks like he's going to try to get in a foot race here with Edon, but cannot win it. And Edon comes away with the ball here. Oh no. Oh, there, Brandon there to cover. Thank goodness. As it looked like this guy, this number 17 for Orlando, was able to snake the ball away. And almost made a good effort here. But Brandon there to recover. Oh, and he got spiked for his trouble. As Orlando seems to have the ball again in South Florida territory. This ball kicked long, trying to clear our line. Unable to do so. Brian now trying to maintain possession of this ball. Plays it off to Lano. Lano to JC. JC back to Julian. Julian now with some time on the ball has to play it back to Lano. Lano on a little bit of a trot. Plays the ball through the space. Finds JC. JC's got 3 defenders around him. And he's got his head up. He's looking for someone to pass to. Finds Julian. Julian up to Nick. Nick with a nice turn. Takes a shot. Goes well wide of the goal. All right. South Florida looking a little bit better here. Having some more opportunities. Orlando has made a considerable number of switches here with their defense. As they are playing this ball out of the back. And down the line now. Whoa, finding a player open on the left side. Tried to make a sliding tackle and unable to connect. And Orlando's in front of our box again. Brandon with a nice poke away with a foot there. Just a little too long. And the Orlando player is called for the foul. After Brandon got by him, he decided to give him a little tug on his jersey. And that's a big no-no for this referee today. This ball is played up to Brian. Brian immediately gets his head up. Looks for the pass to Mora. Can't find him, but still comes away with the ball. And again has it poked away. Mora now on the ball. Finds Julian. Julian dribbling into space. Finds Nick. Nick is immediately swarmed, but is able to maintain possession. Gets it out to Brian. Brian finds a gap here. Finds Matthew. Matthew looked like he was trying to cross it, but it went off his foot, and it's out for a goal kick. Just couldn't get that ball across the goal. Some good movement there. Some definite struggles to get that ball into an area where it could have got crossed in. Just couldn't make contact. Goal kick. And here comes Orlando City. Ooh, that could have been picked off. And Brian's now applying pressure here on the right side. Ball's played down the line. Milano giving chase to his player. Kawas giving chase to his player. And looks like, yeah, they got away with it. I thought we were definitely going to get that one in shot. And wide of the goal. Definitely thought we were going to come away with the ball there. It was definitely South Florida players in numbers around the ball, just couldn't pick it up. And Orlando City was able to get a shot off as Edon lines up to take this goal kick. He sends it down to Brian. Brian with a nice turn on the ball. Fortunately, an Orlando player was there to take the ball away. They played this ball again into space and down the left side. Wow, there to apply some pressure along with Matthew. Ball played back into the middle. Well, not much time left now as Valentino urges his players to move forward. And he pumps the ball. Takes a bounce. Now he's trying to seal off his player, but it doesn't really matter because another Orlando player there was there to take the ball. This ball goes into the box and Valentino collects. Well, it looks like the South Florida team is just about gassed out here as we wane down the minutes. 2-0 Orlando. Ball's rolled out to Brandon. Brandon gets overtaken by a couple of Orlando players. Play this ball over to the middle. Again, they're in front of the box. Moving the ball nicely until Lano intercepts. Lano to Edon. Edon trying to get the ball out to Matthew, but it's intercepted. Julian now comes away with the ball, working over to JC. JC trying to make some trouble over here on the left side. Just can't do anything about it. It turns into an Orlando City throw. And Orlando now working that right side. And again, finding passes as they may. This time M.A.D comes over and causes trouble for him. And it looks like it's going to be another corner. Oh, Orlando trying some trickery here. That corner was definitely touched. Matthew read it. They played it short. Tried to get it in. They got blocked by Kawhi. Kawhi to Julian. Julian to Nick. Nick back to Julian. Julian trying to find Mora. Just can't get the angle. Mora gets it back. Plays it back to Julian. Julian looking to switch the field. Can't find anybody except for an Orlando player. And Orlando plays this ball into the box. Valentino there to collect. Valentino looking for somebody to roll it out to. And looks like he's going to have to settle for a punt. Looking for Matthew. Matthew able to make a turn on his defender. Able to get a foot to the ball, but nobody is there. As Orlando plays this one back to the goal. Nick giving chase. As they play the ball down the line. South Florida is struggling to get back, but they're trying. And this ball is played up. Brandon ends up heading it to the center. JC to Julian. Got a little bit more open space now. Looks like Orlando's caught out, but we give the ball away. Julian back on it. Back to Kawhi. Kawhi back to Julian. Fortunately, he can't hold on to the ball, and Orlando is back in the attack with numbers forward. Ball played out to the right side. Brandon's going to be able to deal with that. Oh, it makes collision with the Orlando player who gets back up. JC unable to seal him off. This ball's in the box. It's played up. M.A.D gets in the middle of it. He's charging forward. He's trying to make a play happen. Has it poked away by an Orlando player. And it goes into touch for a throw. And you can see Brandon comes in like a bull. Knocks over that Orlando City player, but not enough as the Orlando City player gets back up, pokes it away from JC. JC trying to seal him off. Can't do it. Orlando player gets in the box. Trying to get a cross off, but M.A.D was there to take it away. Got lucky. Otherwise, this might have been 3-0. This ball's thrown into Brian. Brian did not realize that Orlando player was coming. He does another spin move away from the ball. And Orlando now again in possession in front of the South Florida box. As Kawhi kicks this one long. And that'll do it. That is the ball game. 2-0 Orlando City. As South Florida players are coming off the field. They did have some moments that were positive in this game. Not as positive as the Idea Sport game, but positive nonetheless. This was a very difficult team. They played the ball well. They maintained possession, which kind of kills any rhythm that you're trying to build on the opposing side. Hopefully there's some lessons learned from this game for the next time that we meet them back at our home field in Loggers Run Park. We won't have the same result. Hopefully we'll come out on top in that meeting. But good efforts here by the South Florida defense. I think that in an effort to try to score a goal, we did get caught out a couple of times. But, hey, you need to score in order to win, so it's perfectly understandable. Let's hope our results at IMG are something different. We hope to see you there. From Mad About Soccer, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.